A CGI dog and an aging Harrison Ford in a remake of Jack London's famous novel. Is The Call of the Wild worthy of your time and money? Buck is a big dog taken from his suburban lifestyle and transported to the Yukon where he becomes a sled dog, and he has to learn how to survive in his new environment. I never read the novel, I'm not sure why I didn't, but I can't say if this sticks to the novel at all. Harrison Ford is the narrator of this, and he's telling the story of Buck. He does have an on-screen presence as well, but it's kind of minimal. Now, when I saw the trailer for this and I saw the CGI dog, I was less than excited to see this movie. I mean, actually I said, hey, this looks like hot garbage. I don't want to see this at all. Because it was so obviously a CGI dog. And I was upset by that. Why wouldn't you at least take a real dog for a lot of the action, and then when you need it to do something that a real dog can't do or won't do or puts it in danger, then you make it CGI and you just blend it that way. But I didn't want to see it because it was, well, it's all CGI. And honestly, in the film, it's not much better than it was in the trailer. I mean, you can still tell it is totally a computer-generated dog. But they give him such a personality that I kind of didn't care. That I really began to enjoy seeing Buck as the CGI dog and watching him interact and just watching him just be on screen and do things that, I mean, he acted like a dog, but he also had slight human qualities that you would react in a way that we would probably react, but you could also see that it's, well, kind of like a dog. I mean, that's what makes the dogs so endearing. I even think to How to Train Your Dragon, where Toothless is like this combination of dog and cat, where it has just all of these mannerisms of an endearing pet. And Buck retains that. I like that. So I began to be not distracted by his look and was more endeared and engaged with his behavior. Now, I also typically stray away from dog movies because more often than not, they end terribly. And I just don't want to do that to myself or to my brain or anything else. And so that was another reason that I was hesitant to go into this film, aside from the graphics. But the story ended up grabbing me and investing me in just the tension and what was going on. And I was rooting for Buck. And there is excitement in this and some drama and some anxiety to it that I didn't expect. And I found myself just really, really enjoying what I was watching. There's a portion of the story that feels underdeveloped, and that's conflict between humans, where we just don't have enough backstory, we don't have enough context for what's going on, which makes their reactions extreme, that we don't have any basis for why they're acting the way they are. Now, I totally get what they were going for. I mean, I can see it from a larger perspective and to see, okay, well, if I make this leap in assumption and I go, well, okay, this is why this is and this, then it makes sense. But from what we're shown, it just seems like an extreme reaction. And honestly, it's almost a throwaway part for me because I was enjoying Buck and his adventures so much more. And I didn't need this other side tension or side conflict going on for the story, especially for it to be good and enjoyable. Now, Harrison Ford, like I said, he's the narrator of this, and he's also in it on screen for a little bit. But he's really just a supporting character. I mean, he's kind of in there for a little bit. There's some good interactions between Buck and him at times. I mean, where Buck almost really at that point does feel like a human in some of the ways that he reacts. But you're like, okay, whatever. I'm either going to accept it as it is or I'm going to be bothered by it. Me, I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I'm going to accept it and just move on. Now, one human I really did like is Omar Sy. He's playing Perot, and he is a sled dog driver. I love just him on screen. He was funny to watch, but he's engaging, he's endearing, and the way that he interacts with all of the canine companions on screen is awesome. I think this is a good film for families and kids too, because there's enough excitement and drama in it, and the story is engaging enough without it being overly sad. I mean, we're not talking Where the Red Fern Grows. I think if you catch this at a matinee or a discount day, you're going to be just fine. It's not perfect, but it's really enjoyable. There's no sex or nudity. There might be slight profanity and some violence. I give The Call of the Wild 3 out of 5 couches. So have you read the novel? Are you a fan of it? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.